Hi everybody, Ellen here. Today I come to you guys with my September TBR, and for this month I am hoping to read a shitload of books because I'm so far behind my Goodreads goal. As of right now, I think I'm like 28 books behind or something like that, which is not good. So my hope for this month is to just read a lot of short and quick books and hopefully be able to get through a lot of them so that I, can catch up on my Goodreads goal. So for this month I actually have 2 readathons I want to participate in, one of which has already started since I'm filming this on September 3rd. But that is Adventures Through Wonderland. That is a readathon created by the Artificial Whimsy creators, and I will link their announcement videos down below, and also a collaboration with the Middle Grade Monthly Book Club. So for this one, it's like a couple of challenges, some of them not really like bookish, but just like sort of setting the vibe during the readathon. And this readathon takes place from September 1st until the 30th. So the first prompt for this one is Down the Rabbit Hole, read a book set in another world. And for that prompt, I'm currently reading The Strange Worlds Travel Agency by L.D. Lapinski. Pretty much just a bunch of suitcases that you can go into and end up in a different world. And that's pretty much all I want to say because you don't really need to know more. I'm currently on page 34 and I'm definitely enjoying it so far, although not a lot has happened, but it's promising. The second prompt is Flower Garden, read a aesthetically pleasing book. And for this one I chose Sky Pirates, Echo Quickthorn and The Great Beyond by Alex English, illustrated by Mark Chambers. And the reason I chose this book is because it's a gorgeous cover. It has gold foiling on it and it's also illustrated, so that's very aesthetically pleasing to me. So, just hits all the parts that it needs to. Pretty much about an orphan named Echo, and she's always been told that nothing exists outside of the kingdom of Lockfort, and she's trapped behind the castle walls. But she dreams of adventure, but she's like pondering on where she's supposed to go if there's nothing else outside of the castle walls. But then one day this eccentric professor turns up in this airship outside of her bedroom window, armed with a map and claiming to be a real-life explorer, and Echo kind of decides to join him on this adventure, and she's trying to figure out where her missing mother went. The third prompt is Eat Me, Drink Me, Make Yourself a Cozy Reading Snack, which is not book specified, so probably just bake some cookies or something. And then the next prompt is The White Rabbit's House, pick up a book for a cozy night in. I chose Potkin and Stubbs by Sophia Green, illustrated by K.T. Manford, and I just really like this cover. So I just figured I have a short, quick read with illustrations, so will be pretty to look at. And this one we meet little Potkin, and she's a wannabe reporter, and she's just constantly looking for the next big scoop to write about. But maybe she ends up putting her nose in someone else's business where she's not supposed to be, and shit goes down. And then the next prompt is The Queen of Hearts Plays, pick a book you think you'll love. For this one I chose The Extremely Inconvenient Adventures of Bronte Meadowstone by Jacqueline Moriarty. In this one we meet Bronte. She lives with her aunt, and one day she ends up getting this letter from her parents finding out that they recently died. They give her sort of a mission to go around the country to give presents to her 10 different aunts. I work with really awesome things like being a sea captain and training dragons and stuff like that, being a queen. So she has to go to them in a particular order, delivering the presents and everything like that, because if she doesn't, something bad will happen. So it's really chunky book, but I do really think I'll enjoy it because it's got great ratings and it's middle grade and it's beautiful, so hopefully it will work out. And then the next prompt is Cheshire Cat, pick a strange and mysterious book. And for this one I chose Starfell, Willow Moss and the Lost Day by Dominic Valente. This is a really short book, but it has beautiful illustrations and just like cat. But this is a little bit mysterious because there's this witch shows up on Willow Moss's doorstep, and she needs Willow Moss's help to find Lost Tuesday because it's gone missing, which is not good because that will sort of change everything. So they have to find Lost Tuesday, and it sounds really cool. I really like the cover, and it's beautiful even underneath. And the next prompt is the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. Join in on the live costume party. That's not a reading prompt either, but it's just something to participate in. And the last reading prompt is the bonus book, and that is to read the group pick, which is The Train to Impossible Places by P.G. Bell. This is really like heavy for being so small. But just pretty much just a train that travels to impossible places. There's a boy trapped in a snow globe and a girl who's about to go on the adventure of a lifetime. And that's all I know. And you know, the train going everywhere pretty much. It will be fun to read this as a part of the group pick, and hopefully I will enjoy this one as well. So yeah, those are all the reading prompts for that. The second read-a-thon I'm planning to be a part of is the Buzzwordathon by Books on Lala. I'll link her announcement video down below. And for this round, you're supposed to read books that has the word night in it, no matter which language is in. And I picked the 5 books I do own that has the word night in it. So those are all of the books I have that has the word night in it. So yeah, let's get to those. We have Night Flyers by George R.R. Martin. This is really, really short. Had this for quite some time. Still haven't read it. Well, I did read like 11 pages and then I stopped for whatever reason because I didn't feel like it right then. But this is about this scientific expedition who's looking for some mythical alien species, and the only ship that is available to go on the sea research is the Night Flyer, and the crew is made up only by the captain Roy Eris, and he's presenting himself through this hologram, which is sort of spooky. And the captain's unwillingness to show himself for the scientists, not the only thing that gives the scientists worry, but there might be the fact that there's a telepath, and right from the start feel this sort of dangerous presence and feel like they're not alone on the Night Flyer. And the scientist Melantha Jill just need to, you know, solve the mystery and the unexplainable things that goes down. And yes, that was probably the worst explanation ever, but I haven't read this in a long time and it's all written in Swedish, so you know, very slow translation happening right here, right now. And then there's some historical fiction, like a lot of them actually. So this is A Night Divided by Jennifer A. Nilsson. This takes place after the sudden rise of the Berlin Wall. We meet 12-year-old Gerda. Her family was divided overnight, so she and her mother and her brother Fritz is living on the eastern side, and then which is controlled by the Soviets, and then her father and her middle brother has gone west in the search of work, and then now they're not able to come home. And then one day Gerda sees her father sort of signaling to her that he wants them to, you know, escape and make their passage over the wall to their side. That's not only very dangerous, but people actually die trying to do that. So it's sort of about that escape and what happens. So I'm really interested in this one, and I do love historical fiction, and I feel like I haven't read a lot of historical fiction lately, like at most like 1 book a month. So this will be awesome. I will also have The Nightingale by Kristin, and this makes me so nervous. I know people love this book, but that's what makes me nervous. So this takes place during World War II, and we have 2 different women, and this book is supposed to like display the women's war during this time. And we meet 2 different sisters separated by years and experience, by ideals, passion and circumstance. and embarking on her own dangerous path towards survival, love and freedom in the war-torn France. And then the next book is Prisoner of Night and Fog by Anne Blankman. This is also an historical fiction, and in this one we meet Gretchen Mueller, and she always follows 3 different rules. The first one, obey. Second one, smile when Hitler comes close. And the third, never question him. And this takes place in the 1930s Munich, and we meet Gretchen Mueller, and she is, I think, Hitler's niece, and she happens to be his favorite. And then she happens to meet this fearless and handsome Jewish reporter named Del Cohen, and it turns out that and this reporter sort of shows Gretchen the real Hitler and why he's maybe not as good of a guy as she thought he was. So this one sounds really interesting. I really look forward to reading this one because I've been wanting to for years, but after I picked it up it's only been standing on my shelves, so hopefully I'll get to this one. And then the last book is Maskeradnatten by Alice Ekström. So this was actually a review book, so it would be really good if I could read this one. But in this one we meet Rita, and she's known as the woman with 1,000 faces, and she gets her mission is to kill the tyrannical king. She realizes she uses her sort of reputation as the woman with 1,000 faces as, you know, in her advantage, and there's something in the royal chambers that she wants, and only dreamers and idiots would risk their lives to get this, but it could lead her to unbelievable riches, and it is just as well leave her straight to the jaws of death. It's help from her 4 allies, and they all have their own reasons to want to do this mission, and even though they hate each other, they have to put that aside to be able to come out of this alive. So this sounds really great as well. So yeah, hopefully I will be able to read all of these, but since the read-a-thon takes place from September 20th to the 27th, I want to say, I'm gonna double check that, and so I'll write it down here, but it's only for a week, so I'm just gonna try to read as much as possible out of these books, because I don't think I'll end up reading all of these, but hopefully a few of them. But yeah, that's basically my September TBR. It's a lot bigger than usual, but hopefully I will be able to plow on through some books, because I'm hoping to read a lot more than the middle grades I showed here, because these are just the challenges, and I need to read more than this to catch up on my reading goals. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, if you have read any of these books or just showed you, please let me know down below what you thought about them, without spoiling of course. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give me some thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the little button down below. And yeah, I hope to see each other in the next one. Bye!